If you ever had to write an argumentative essay, you know it's not always an easy task. You have to choose a good essay topic, conduct in-depth research, and structure it all to make sense and add value to your original thesis statement. But after this step-by-step guide, you'll know exactly how to write an outstanding argumentative essay with a few of our own pro tips.
The College Disruptor.
Hi, I'm Santiago from Great Hacker, the non-traditional student's most trusted resource. We know firsthand how complex and tedious papers can be. Here is how you can write a great argumentative paper. Step 1. Choosing the essay topic. The first thing you need to do is choose a suitable subject with plenty of academic sources that will let you develop a strong thesis statement. Avoid simple and vague topics as they are too general and uninteresting. Plus, they take more time to do research. Instead, consider a research subject you like and go for a more specific topic. Our pro tip is to choose the topic with the most sources. This adds value and credibility to your paper, so be sure your subject has plenty of options to choose from. If you see that there isn't enough information about your topic, try approaching it from a different angle or consider writing on another subject. Step 2. Create an outline. While some professors don't ask you to include an outline with your paper, the truth is that you should always make one, at least for yourself. This way, you can create a roadmap with all the topics you have to cover in one place. Just make a simple outline with the basic information. Here's an example you can use. Next, you can take a further step and add a concise summary of what each paragraph will touch and which source you'll use. This more complete outline might take more time, but believe us, it will rearrange all ideas altogether and you can go back to it while you are writing in case you lose the flow. Now, our pro tip is to add an approximation of how long each paragraph will be. Of course, it will depend on the length of your assignment, but knowing how many words you should dedicate to each paragraph before you start will give you a better idea of your current status. Step 3. Write the introductory paragraph. You need to know that the introductory paragraph has two main goals: to provide a general context on your chosen topic and introduce the thesis statement. You need to hook the reader and make them understand why you are writing about that specific topic and why they should care about your statement. The best way of achieving this is by talking about a current problem or using a strong statistic that catches the eye of the reader. Don't quote any sources or refute opposite arguments yet. Just focus on making the reader interested in your topic by giving them context and stating your main argument, which will set up the rest of the essay. Our pro tip is simple: don't make it too long or too short. We recommend writing between 100 and 150 words, which should be enough to contextualize and state your main argument. Before we continue, like this video and subscribe to our channel to keep learning the best tips you need for college. Step 4. Write the body. Here is where you get to develop your thesis by providing solid arguments supported by qualified sources. Don't be afraid to show a solid position on the subject. The reader should clearly understand your opinion without using the first-person point of view. After all, you're trying to convince them to care about the topic. How? Start by addressing the first issues within your topic and show clear evidence supporting your point. Once you have covered all the main statements that prove your thesis right, you'll have to include a perspective that states the contrary to your opinion. This will strengthen your main point and persuade the reader even more before they finish reading. Now, you should always limit one idea per paragraph. If you develop each topic thoroughly in a separate paragraph, you'll be able to build a naturally flowing structure while all arguments are related. Also, use connectors. However, furthermore, moreover, nevertheless, even though, on the contrary, connectors are your best friends when writing any type of essay, and you should always have them in mind when writing. Our pro tip for this step is to use as many sources as you need. As we already said, sources are key. That's why the more, the better. It doesn't matter if you only need to use one sentence or a small statistic. If it adds value to your statement, it's worth it. Fifth and final step, write a conclusion. You should think of your conclusion as what you want the reader to remember from your essay. Start by recognizing the main issue with your subject. Then, revisit the main points of your paper and restate your thesis one last time. Don't just repeat the same words you used throughout your essay. Think about the most important statements you have made and expose them all together in the conclusion, so the reader leaves with all these critical topics in mind. And our last pro tip is not to add any new information in the conclusion. It may sound obvious, but including new arguments is one of the most common mistakes among students. If you didn't explain something before, don't bring it up now. Find out how you can include it in the body or just leave that information out. That wasn't too hard, right? It might seem like a lot, but your writing experience will be much easier by following these clear steps. Now you're ready to start writing your next argumentative essay. Be specific, use all the necessary sources, and show a strong opinion. And don't forget to have in mind our pro tips. They will make your essay stand out from the rest. Like and subscribe to our channel and share with that friend who also wants to improve their writing skills. If there is any specific question you have, leave it in the comments down below and we'll answer it. Thanks for watching and we'll see you next time. If you want more tips, learn 5 easy hacks to write your essay, or find better academic sources in our list of websites to find free college textbooks.